Welcome to A Course of Love. This is our book group written by Perron, first receiver. So this is an ongoing book group and everyone is welcome and may all be included in what we do here. Absolutely. And tonight we are on page 256, which is chapter 5, the source of your call. The source of your call. We are first ones here at the moment, and it has been asked that I read, so I will begin. Welcome, Ruben.
Can I ask what book
Welcome,
this is?
Linda. Yes, welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to see you all. Thank you all. Thank you. We are just beginning. I have not begun to read. If anyone else would like to begin reading first, you're welcome to. Otherwise, just interrupt me whenever you're ready if you'd like to read. We're on page 256, chapter 5, the source of your call. Okay, I'll just begin then. The source of your call. In order for you to more fully understand the life that this course calls you to, we must also talk of another aspect of being called. While we have concluded that when you listen to your heart, you hear and are able to respond to the one call, this does not mean that this one call has but one request to make of you, as in a call to be a minister, nor that it will come in but one form, as in a call to action. We have talked heretofore about a calling you feel from within, as if you are listening to a new voice that would reveal your talents and desires to you. This type of calling comes as a light shone into the darkness and is revelatory in nature. Other calls will come as announcements, signs, or even as seeming demands. All call you to the present where response is able to be given. All call you back to who you are. Welcome. Again, let me stress the present moment nature of being called. A call is at its most basic level, a means of communication. If you are not listening, you will not hear the calls that are meant for you. If you are looking only for a specific type of call, you will miss many unlearning and learning opportunities. Thus, recognition of the different calls that may now be heard is necessary. The call that comes in the form of an announcement is the call that carries with it no ambiguity. The certainty of an announcement can alert you that it is time to act. This might be considered the highest form of call, the call from the already accomplished to the already accomplished. Such a call signals an end to learning from the lessons of the past and a beginning of learning from the new. This course itself is such a call, an announcement of your readiness for the new. This is the all-encompassing call and is not about specifics. Because it is not about specifics, you may find yourself still wondering what to do. Thus, you must be aware of the calls that assist you in knowing what to do. These calls you may think of as signs, like literal signposts along a roadway. They alert you to turn your attention in a particular direction. Calls that seem to come in the form of demands are often calls that come to you from within the teaching and learning ground of relationships. You may literally be called to account for certain attitudes or behaviors. You may also be called upon to call others to account for their attitudes or behaviors. These last two calls, the call that appears in the form of a sign and the call that comes in the form of a demand, are about specifics in a way that the call that comes as an announcement is not. They represent the remnants of learning from the past, the final breaking of old patterns. They may seem to signal difficult times, but they are times that must be gotten through and lessons that need to be allowed to pass through you until you have fully integrated the truth that giving and receiving are one. You will not fully believe that needs are not lacks until you have fully integrated the truth that giving and receiving are one. You will not realize that dependency is a matter of the interdependency of all that exists in relationship. Thus, all the calls that come to you in the form of signs or demands will be calls that assist you in integrating this learning and making it one with who you are. These lessons will bring who you are into focus within your mind through the vehicle of your heart. Just a little pause to let all that kind of sink in. Welcome to everyone who joined during the reading. Whenever you feel ready, if there's anyone else who would like to read, you're welcome to. Yes, Reuben. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Chapter 6, page 252, the belief accomplishment. The source of what we have been speaking of as calling is your heart. It is what alerts you to the treasures that lie within. There is no time in the place we are calling within, and your heart knows not of time, even while it adheres to the rules of time you will place upon yourself. Cease adhering to the rules of time and see how much more the language of your heart becomes known to you. I speak here not of the rules of time that govern your days and years, but the rules of time that you believe govern your days and years, and that you thus allow to govern your thinking. If time is but a measure of learning, and if your learning is now at the stage at which it occurs in unison with unlearning, then the end of time, as you own it, as you know it, it is close at hand. You can begin now to think without the barriers of time you but place upon your thinking. You will advance this process and more quickly bring about the end of the pattern of learning that you refer to as time. The end of the pattern of learning that you refer to as time is the beginning of the time of unity. This return to unity is reliant upon the change in your beliefs that this course has brought about. Let us review these beliefs and how they relate to your concept of time. Only you can be accomplished, and your accomplishment is already complete. What does this mean in regards to time? You might think of being accomplished as all of your work being done. If there is no work to be done, nothing for you to do, for what do you need time? Had you ever conceived of accomplishing anything without taking into account the time that it will take? Relate this question to our discussion of treasure, and you will understand what it is of which I speak. You believe that your treasures only become accomplished abilities within time. You believe that your treasures only become part of your identity when you have passed beyond the time it takes for those treasures to become abilities. That all that you might wish to accomplish stands separate from you and beyond you in time. That your mind projects what you desire to accomplish onto an unknown future time is what will seem to keep you from accomplishment. I said that it is what will seem to purposefully. If you already accomplished, this trick of your mind has not worked. And yet, if you believe that this trick of your mind has worked, you act as if you are being kept from accomplishment by time. And this seems quite real to you. This seems quite real to you because of what you believe. Accomplishment is not an end point, but a given. It is not an outcome, but a certainty. It says, I am, rather than I will be. I will be is a statement that presumes a future in which you will be someone other than who you are in the present. Unity exists only in the here and now of the present. There is no will be in unity. There is only what is. Thus, the limits you will place on the concept of something being what it is must be part of this discussion. Your mind will tell you that a chair is a chair and regarded as a fact. Through the learning you have done since your birth, you have come to recognize a chair as having certain properties, the most essential of which is that it is a structure on which to sit. The exercises of A Course in Miracles began with asking you to call into question these beliefs in known, observable fact. You may have regarded this exercise as silly, or you may have thought of the lessons of physics and felt as if you understood these exercises on an intellectual level. But what these exercises have prepared you for is an acceptance of the ongoing change that is creation. An acceptance that something can be what it is, a known fact, an object with an identity, but also part of the ongoing nature of creation. Could this be true of a chair and not be true of you? It is your belief that change and growth are indicative of all that can be accomplished rather than of what is already accomplished that needs adjustment now. As a tree exists fully accomplished within its seed, and yet grows and changes, you exist fully accomplished within the seed that is the Christ in you. Even while you continue to grow and change. Physical form and action of all kinds are but expressions of what already exists within the seed of the already accomplished. The recognition that you already accomplished is a condition of your recognition of the state of unity. It is a recognition that you exist in unity outside of the pattern of time. Miracles create an out-of-pattern time interval. Thus, living in a state of miracle readiness is the creation of a new reality outside of the pattern of ordinary time. Although this state exists as the already accomplished, it is up to you to create it for yourself. You must create it for yourself only because you believe you replace what was already accomplished with what you made. This is what is happening as you unlearn and learn in unison. You are creating the state of unity as a new reality for yourself, even though it is actually a return to what has always been. You are changing the world you perceive by perceiving a new world. You are changing from who you have thought yourself to be to who you are. As I have already said, that your heart must exist where you think you are, you can begin to see that this change in thinking will release your heart, returning it to its natural realm. Thus, the mind and heart join in unity in the present, in the here and now, so that you exist even within form as the only Son of God, the Christ, the Word made flesh. Remember that the phrase, the Son of God and the name Christ, but represent the original creation and are not to be mistaken for heavenly deities separate from you. The Christ is yourself, as you were created and remain. The Christ is the accomplished self. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful reading. How are you all feeling? Do you feel like you want to read one? We should read one more? Or are you feeling enough?
One more, please.
One more? Okay. Chapter 7. The Belief. Giving and receiving as one. We have talked much in this course of your desire to be independent without looking at the condition of dependency that you consider its opposite. To be independent, you feel as if you must rely only on yourself. Thus, the connotation of reliance on others or dependence has taken on a negative meaning, specifically in contrast to your desire to be independent. One of your greatest fears is thus of a condition that causes you to be dependent or to rely on others. Others are the great unknown of living in the world. Others are those who are beyond your control, those who can influence the course of your day or your life in ways you would not choose. Others represent the accidents waiting to happen, love that is not returned, the withholding of things you deem important. This fear that you feel in relation to others is as true of those you hold most dear to you as it is of those you would call strangers. It is the very independence of others that makes your own independence seem so important to you. Dependency is not consistent with your notions of a healthy self. What then is the alternative? The alternative is believing in giving and receiving as one. First, let us replace your idea of others with the idea of relationship that has been so often defined and repeated within this course. In order to believe in giving and receiving as one, you must believe in relationship rather than in others. Those you would view as others are separate from you. Those you would view as being in relationship with you are not separate from you. The relationship is the source of your unity. That you exist in relationship with all is a belief that you must now incorporate into living. Further, you must remember that relationship is based on trust. If you are dependent, or supported by others with whom you share a trusting relationship. Where is the negativity? Where is the cause for fear? What is the hidden source of your feelings of lack or deprivation? What is the hidden source of your desire to control? This source is the ego. Even now, the ego will take every opportunity that arises to prove to you that independence is a far better state than that of dependence. It will work diligently to convince you that any course that tries to take away your independence should be resisted. As long as you continue to listen to your ego, you will not understand giving and receiving as one, and will not believe in it. This is the most difficult belief of all to integrate into the living of your life. Each time another thwarts you, you will be tempted to believe that giving and receiving as one is not taking place. Your previous pattern of behavior will be quick to assert itself, and you will feel resentment and claim that the situation is unfair. You will be tempted to withhold as others withhold from you. Is it not clear how important it is to living in peace that this pattern be broken? Will you live in peace only until some other breaks your peace? Only until some circumstance beyond your control brings an unexpected conflict your way? There is no function for control in unity. There is no need for it. Relationship is the only means through which interaction is real. The only source of your ability to change that which you would change. Here is an idea not heretofore given much attention. The idea of the desire for change. Certainly, there will continue to be things within your life that are in need of change. As was stated in the beginning of this treatise, this course has not called you to a static state of sameness, an acceptance of who you are that does not allow for change. But once you have become happier with who you are, you will, if left unschooled, turn your attention to others and to situations you would have be different than they are. You will want to be a change agent. You will want to move into the world and be an active force within it. These are aims consistent with the teachings of this course. But what will prevent you from following the patterns of old as you go out into the world with your desire to effect change? The only thing that will prevent this is your ability to go out into the world and remain who you are. This relates to giving and receiving being one in truth in a very concrete way. For to go out into the world with the desire to give, either expecting to receive in certain measure or to receive not at all, is to follow the old pattern, a pattern that has been proven to not have any ability to change the world. To proceed into each relationship as who you truly are is to bring everlasting change to each and every relationship and thus to all. Again, I return you to the early teachings of A Course of Love, teachings concerning your desire to be good and to do good. This is not about doing good works. This is about being who you are and seeing the truth rather than the illusion that surrounds you. You cannot, in other words, be a good person in a bad world. You cannot effect change without having effected change within. You cannot be independent and still be of service. For as long as you believe in your independence, you will not accept your dependence. You will not accept giving and receiving as one if you feel able only to give, or as if others have nothing you would receive. This new attitude, then, includes accepting that you have needs, that you are a being who exists in relationship is the same as saying you are a being who needs relationship. The only thing that keeps you in this new pattern from being needy and dependent in an unhealthy way is that you believe in giving and receiving as one. You believe, in other words, that your needs will be provided for, thus ceasing to be needs. To deny that you are a being with needs is not the aim of this course. To come to believe that your needs are provided for by a creator and a creation that includes all others is to believe and giving and receiving, being one in truth. Giving is not only about choosing what good and helpful parts of yourself you will share with the world. It is also about giving the world the opportunity to give back. It is about recognizing the constant and ongoing exchange that allows needs to be met. It is trusting that if you have a need for money or time or honesty or love, it will be provided. Trusting is not a condition or state of being that you have heretofore seen as being an active one. Your attitude toward trust is one of waiting, as if an active stance toward trust would be distrustful. You thus will often say that you trust when what you are doing is hoping for a specific outcome. Real trust is not a trust that waits and hopes, but a trust that acts from who you truly are. Real trust requires the discipline of being who you are in every circumstance and in every relationship. Real trust begins with yourself. How often have you hidden thoughts and feelings because you question whether they are legitimate thoughts and feelings? For some of you, this answer has changed greatly over time. But for many of you, you have become less rather than more forthcoming about your thoughts and feelings since taking this course. You have done so out of a desire to be truthful, a desire to not express thoughts and feelings unworthy of your real self. You may have increasingly denied thoughts and feelings you would judge as negative or bad. Or you may have, in your desire not to judge others, kept yourself from speaking up in instances where you previously would have stated an opinion. While these modes of behavior in themselves are learning aids that prepare you for acting with the certainty you seek, they again are not to be confused with the true aims of this course of study. Who you are cannot be denied in favor of who you will be. Needs cannot be denied as a means of having them cease to be. You who are beginning to realize that you have much to give, realize that you have as much to receive, and that receiving does not imply that you are lacking. The discipline required to be who you are is a discipline that requires trust in self and honesty in relationships. Does this mean that you are required to express every thought and feeling that comes your way? No. But this does mean that you bring the thoughts and feelings that arise to the place within your heart that has been prepared for them. You do not deny them. You bring them first to yourself, to the self joined in unity at the place of your heart. From this place, you learn to discriminate, to separate the false from the true. For your ego thoughts cannot long abide in the holy place of your heart. Then, with truth and illusion separated, you develop the discipline to express your true self as you are now. This is the only way the self you are now has to grow and change. This is the only means the self you are now has of giving and receiving as one. This is the only means available to you to replace the old pattern with the new. The recognition that giving and receiving occur as one is a precondition for your recognition of the state of unity. As with the recognition of your accomplishment, the acceptance of the belief that giving and receiving are one in truth changes the function of time as you know it. There is not a period of wait or a period of time between giving and receiving. There is not a time lapse between the recognition of needs and the meeting of needs. It is accepted that giving and receiving occur in unison, thus further collapsing the need for time. While as stated previously, this belief will at times seem difficult to put into practice. And while your recognition of receiving and of needs being met may seem to still take time, This belief builds on the belief of the already accomplished through experience. As you experience giving and receiving, being one in truth, your belief will become true conviction. Your ability to recognize giving and receiving as one becomes simply an aspect of your identity and accepted as the nature of who you are in truth. That ends chapter 7. How's everyone feeling? Those were two very big chapters.
We have plenty for the week.
Plenty, overflowing. Yes.
Thank you very much for the readings tonight.
Yes, Linda. Yes.
Great way to start the week. Thank you.
Thank you for your presence here, Linda.
You're so welcome.
For everyone's presence here,
Yes.
seen and unseen.
Okay. I'm going to sign off. Have a great week.
You
Thank
too,
you.
Linda.
Yeah.
Thank
Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
I'm going to leave to Kimberly. So thank you for this reading.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And thank you for all the ones who joined by the videos later. I appreciate all who are receiving these important messages. Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you for your reading tonight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.